Now in today's video, we're going to be analyzing and talking about 10 of my favorite high yield ETFs that I have never talked about altogether in a single video. I'm going to share with you guys what each of these ETFs have to offer, why I personally like each of them. And then later on towards the end of the video, I'm going to share with you how many shares you would need of each one of these ETFs, along with how much the total investment requirement would be to earn $1,000 per month in dividends. Now, I personally have been investing for around 9 or so years and currently earn around $9,100 per month on average in monthly dividends. But I still remember how important different milestones are, and especially once my portfolio years ago reached $1,000 per month on average, it really felt like the snowball effect, the compounded effect took place, which is why I think it's very important to talk about different milestones, like the one for the sake of today's video, $1,000 per month. So if you guys want to see 10 of my favorite high yielding ETFs and see exactly how much you'd have to invest into each of them to earn $1,000 per month, well, then make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker that I'm constantly using here on the channel has also helped so many investors stay on track and allow them to see their dividend income in real time. Well, today I have another treat for you guys. I'm not only going to offer you my A to Z dividend investing ebook and the custom dividend tracker, but also just for a short limited time, I'm going to be adding in my brand new weekly dividend blueprint ebook to show you how you can get started with weekly dividend ETFs and add this into your investing strategy. This offer is not going to last long, so go ahead and click the first link down below in my description, and you're going to get both ebooks and the custom dividend tracker bundle. But like I said, please act fast because this won't be around for long. Now let's get back into the video. Now we are going to go over all the final numbers towards the end of the video. I'm going to share with you guys the entire table and give you all the exact numbers on how much you need to invest into each of these names. But before that, let's dig into each of these ETFs and see what they are, what they have to offer, etc. The first of 10 is going to be BALI, BALI, or the iShares Advantage Large Cap Income ETF, which offers large cap income exposure, but also potential upside. This ETF has grown over time, not decayed whatsoever, but still offers around an 8% yield. Now, like I always say, an ETF is only as good as its holdings, and BALI has names like Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, lots of large cap names, some of the biggest and best companies across the entire markets. But because BALI seeks to enhance dividend yield by selling covered calls, this ETF does not make investors wait whatsoever to earn some high yield. Again, the yield as of right now is somewhere around 8%. ETF number 2, one of my favorites as of right now, is JPIX. This is the Goldman Sachs S&P 500 Premium Income ETF. This ETF has been on my radar for a while and also my portfolio for a while. Some of the main reasons I'm super bullish on this ETF is because it offers S&P 500 high income exposure. I do think the S&P 500 will do very good long term, but also this ETF dynamically sells call options, which means there is going to be a lot more upside when the S&P does grow very quickly, which historically it has. But still, this ETF does offer you around 8% yield right off the bat. ETF number 3, this is also somewhat of a newer one. It started trading late last year. This is QDVO, the Amplify CWP Growth and Income ETF. This ETF is actually seeking capital appreciation first and then income generation second, which might be surprising because the ETF offers around a 9% yield, which is not small by any means, and pretty consistent monthly income at least over the last year or so. Now, the cool thing about QDVO is that it offers somewhat low beta exposure to some of the biggest, fastest growing names across the entire market, and they do so by selling individual covered calls on individual names across the portfolio. From what I've seen out of QDVO as of so far since it's been trading, this ETF does have the potential to outperform lots of other high income ETFs because of its strategy, in my opinion. Next up, another one of my favorites, JPIQ. This is the Goldman Sachs NASDAQ 100 Premium Income ETF. The same thing as JPIX, the only difference is now you're getting NASDAQ 100 exposure. Now, the reason I like this one is because I'm a big fan of index exposure. I want to have tons of NASDAQ as well as S&P 500 exposure inside my long-term portfolio. I look at those as sort of foundational positions to have in a long-term portfolio. But also because the NASDAQ 100 historically has grown pretty quickly, the dynamic selling of call options is going to be helpful, especially if we see the NASDAQ rip up in a short time frame. Now, because of this, I personally think that this ETF, JPIQ, does have the potential to outperform lots of other, or maybe all other NASDAQ 100 Premium Income ETFs over the long term. It only offers around a 10% yield, which is not bad whatsoever, although there are other NASDAQ 100 style premium income ETFs that do offer a little bit more income generation. Next up, we have IYRI. If you guys like real estate or real estate investment trusts, you're going to love this one. This ETF offers exposure to real estate investment trusts, some of the best across the entire market. Names like Prologis, Welltower, American Tower, Realty Income, etc. But then along with that, they sell covered calls on these names, which offers a lot more in distributions than you would get normally by investing into some of these REITs. Now we're talking around 11% distribution rate with pretty consistent income around 45 to 50 cents per share per month. Also, this ETF offers a portion of the income every month in the form of return of capital, which can be helpful, especially when we're talking real estate investment trusts. Normally, these sort of assets are not all that tax friendly. We have a few more to go through before I share with you guys the final numbers of what it would take to earn $1,000 per month in dividends invested into each one of these, so stick around. But next we have SPYI, my personal favorite high income ETF. I like this ETF a lot because what it offers as far as S&P 500 high income exposure, it offers the potential for upside. The ETF is not decayed whatsoever. It offers very consistent distributions, very tax friendly distributions at that because of that ROC. A few more, we have the NASDAQ 100 high income ETF, also one of my favorites. We're talking a pretty high starting yield here, around 14-15%. This ETF isn't going to offer as much upside necessarily as maybe JPIE, but it is offering you a lot more income generation, potentially from day one. We have two more to go through. BITY is another one of my favorites. This ETF offers Bitcoin 2% monthly option income. And generally speaking, because of Bitcoin's implied volatility, some of these Bitcoin high income ETFs have not only done amazing as of recently, but I've been finding myself more and more interested in adding more and more shares to my portfolio, even though I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Bitcoin on its own. Now, the last one before we go through the final numbers, BTCI, this is the NEOS version of the Bitcoin high income ETF. This ETF also offers you Bitcoin high income exposure. And I almost forgot, we have one more. We have MEGI, the Magnificent 7 Covered Call ETF, offers you MEG 7 exposure through a high income strategy. This one's brought to us by Roundtail, offers weekly distributions and a 35% just about distribution rate. This one is very, very high yield, ultra high yield at that. So if you guys are still watching at this point, definitely drop a like down below and check out some of my other videos if you guys want to see me dig super deep into any of the names we talked about. That's basically all I do on my channel. But here are the final numbers. If you wanted to earn $1,000 per month, you would have to buy around 5,800 shares of Bali, which would cost around $180,000. With 180K into GPIX, you could also get $1,000 per month on average. 3,500 shares of that one. QDBO, you would only need around 160 invested to buy yourself around 5,500 shares. GPIQ could get it done with around 144,000 invested, 2,800 or so shares. IYRI, now we're getting up to the higher yield or ultra high yield territory. $131,000 invested would buy you around 2,600 shares, which would get you that $1,000 per month dividend income. Then next we have SPYI, $115,000 invested, more or less. 2,200 shares would get you that $1,000 per month. QQQY, 1,800 shares, 1,900 shares, 100K invested would get you there. Then we have BIDI, just over 1,000 shares of this one. Would cost you around $58,000, which would pay you around $1,000 per month. And then the ultra high yielders, BTCI and MEGI, you'd only need around $50,000 invested into each of these to get yourself 700-800 shares, which would pay you around $1,000 per month. Now, I hope it goes without saying, but just to be clear, just because an ETF or a stock pays a much higher yield does not necessarily mean that it's better. A dividend yield is just one of many, many metrics you should go off of when it comes to stock picking or ETF picking for your portfolio. But in general, I thought it'd be sort of fun to go through 10 of my favorite higher yield or ultra high yielding ETFs as of right now throughout the market. And again, this can change ongoingly, and share with you guys exactly how much it would take potentially based off of the current numbers. And again, these can also change to earn $1,000 per month in income. So now that we went through and I shared with you guys 10 of my favorite higher yielding ETFs, I share with you guys what they are, some things I like about each of them, and also share with you what it would take to earn $1,000 per month. I lastly, most importantly, have a question for you down below. Out of all 10 of these ETFs, which is your number one favorite and which is your least favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.